when you were talking about being at the podium, it made me think when I had one at church. I was supposed to be going up and give my speech after I got baptized. And I got up there, I looked around, huge church. I had a seizure. So there's like a bar and nobody can see me and I'm on the ground seizing, I guess.
Oh my God.
And they said when I stood up, I just said, "Thank you guys for coming out." I did the mic drop and then I walked off. And
I had a seizure at church once too when I was a kid.
I just remember getting back to the people where I was sitting at. I just remember getting to them and they were just like, "What are you doing?
What are you doing?"
I was
Do
just
you
like,
seriously
"What are you
not
talking
know what
about?"
just happened?
I need my medication now.
One of the funniest seizure stories I have is one time I had a seizure so bad that I had to go to the emergency room, and they woke me up, and they told me, and so I was they woke me up and they told me that to stop my seizure, they had to pump my blood full of enough drugs to knock out 3 adults to make the seizure stop. So I was both post-ictal and I was very, very high.
Yeah.
And I had like a zero clue of what was going on. And I didn't even like know I was high. And so I grabbed my phone and I texted one of my friends, "I have drug blood."
Drug blood.
Drug blood. And with no context. And and she texted me back, my friend Courtney, she texted me back and said, "Is that fun?" And my response was like, "Why would she think that's fun?" And I'm like, I'm in the emergency room. Why would she think that's fun? And so I texted back, "No, it feels really weird and annoying." And she was like, "Oh, well, I'm sorry." And I'm just like, "Why would she think that's fun?" And then later she brought up and was like,
"It's never fun."
A psychopath, because like she never got the context. She just thought I was like at a party high.
Drug blood.
Drug blood.
Yeah.
I do remember when they had to, my arm got dislocated, they said they had to give me morphine.
Ooh,
and I'm like, okay, that might have been a little bit different and fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So I got something here. It says memory issues in marriage. I've had epilepsy ever since my husband and I started dating over 20 years now. My memory has been bad for a long time, but lately it's been creating more fights than usual. But I swear there are times when it is his memory that is failing. I'm the one who gets in blame for differing recollections of events. I'm considering starting recording us. Is this crazy to record every conversation you have with your spouse?
No.
How does
No.
memory problems affect your relationship, and how did you find any way to fix it?
I haven't
It
yet.
affects it big time.
I only started almost 5 years ago, but no, I haven't figured that out yet. And yeah, I get in trouble for it a lot. And just like
Yep.
Lucas said, right, it's a big problem.
Yeah. Therapy.
I'm gonna just avoid the therapy by reminding myself that one day I won't remember any part of the marriage. I'm almost there.
Well, the fun part, I play with that, Kate. And I play with that. I count on people assuming that I have a bad memory.
Oh, everybody knows I do for sure.
Everyone knows
That's
I'm
just
lying.
Tom.
Yeah.
That's just Tom. He doesn't remember stuff.
Exactly. And then when you come up with these audio clips, they're like, "I never said that." Oh, check your texts. Or there you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
consider that.
I may
Let's
forget
keep it
how
on
you
text.
said it, but I remember where to find it on my phone.
Yeah, I
right
have
now,
sometimes like selective memory.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
someone
yeah.
told me that. I
Very
have selective memory.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. I have stuff get erased, and too many people take it personally when you don't remember everything about them.
Right.
But they forgot that you.
Oh God, names?
That's the
No.
worst thing for me.
No.
I keep calling
names
Eric by the
remember-
wrong names. And it's not that I don't know something about them. It's just
Yeah, I
Susan
know.
and Sharon sound the same to me.
Yeah, as long as they do that.
Yeah.
And Wiley and Wyatt sound the same to my stupid brain. I can't help
I
it.
mentioned my disability musical there before. We literally everybody introduced themselves twice in the class, and still I was like, I found somebody's drink on the ground. And I was like, who's this? And everyone was like, oh, that's Elizabeth. And I was like,
Who's that?
yeah, like which one is Elizabeth? Oh God.
Everyone looks the same to me. I don't know if that's related.
And that is not just you. That is
Oh.
not just you. I see so many dog walkers around this place. And, yes, it is a senior citizen community. So this is going to sound like horrible, but everybody is Linda and Doug to me.
That's not dumb, honey. That's not dumb.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm walking, so I turned my camera on.
Linda Doug number 1, Linda Doug number 2.
Yes,
Yeah, right.
exactly. I'll remember their dogs' names first. Like I know the Pomeranian is Pookie, but no, for
And
real.
just
That's
talk,
another
just
reason that
talk
I
to the
remember.
dog. They'll appreciate that you remember the dog's name. Believe me.
Yeah.
That's, just
One
play it
time-
off. It'll be fine.
One time I was at my brother Ben's church, and I went up and introduced myself to this one person, and she was like, I was like, hi, I'm Rachel, and she was like, yeah, I know. We met at your brother's house. We've met like 3 times.
Right. I do that all the
I'm
time.
gonna go die now.
Toss me
Goodbye.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
crawl in a hole and pretend that I didn't just do that.
Yeah.
Maybe I can forget
like-
it happened.
I'm like,
Constantly
who are
introducing
you?
Ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the
We
other
want you
stories that I
something
actually
fun.
wrote down was when we took son was 2 then. He was, just kind of still not like good at running, but he could walk really well. Anyway, we were at some little like toddler play thing. My mother was with me, older daughter there, and she runs into apparently my best friend. They were business partners, came down from Jersey with the other guy. That daughter lived next to us for 10 years, I think she told me. And obviously, like, I knew this girl. 15 years later, we run into each other at some, thing with kids. So obviously they're catching up. And I literally just said, nice to meet you, and went back to chasing my son. Like, I felt so embarrassed when I heard the history after the fact of like, oh, that was the neighbor of that one place you built and I grew up.
Right.
That is so embarrassing when you're supposed to know something and you just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, it's terrible.
I
I
had
always
so
forget
much.
names. Names I can't remember. People always ask me, "Do you remember me?" And I tell them, "I remember your face, not your name."
In
People
my-
get that a lot.
That's what I'm good at.
Yeah,
That's
Faces look familiar, but I don't know your name. And then you'll tell me a story of our past, but sometimes I don't even remember that story.
I disagree.
But it
Yeah,
helps,
yeah,
though, right?
yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Why
it
not?
helps, though. Peekaboo, take care of things out in the garage. Oh, you know what I wanted to ask
Then,
you guys?
like, you'll mention things that something nobody will know, like my father, or
Yeah,
it's like, I know you know me, but I don't know you.
yeah, or I've forgotten. I've known so many people, I did want to ask you guys, I threw it out in one of the chats I was in. Do you guys feel thunderstorms coming?
Yes.
I can feel
Yes.
it after. Yeah. After. it's
After,
thunder, yeah,
see, I can feel
but
it before. And
No.
this is how I
You
always
can
get my
I feel
dog
like
out
you
before it
can tell
rains.
when the rain is like not quite there. There's like something in the air.
yeah, you
Yes.
can smell it.
So
And
are
this
you
is
guys
what
all
I've
at like a
done.
higher
Yeah.
elevation? I mean, where do you guys live? Because I always thought there was just a totally different atmosphere up north than down south.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
There's
in
that.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I can smell like a strong thunderstorm
Yeah,
brewing.
you
Yeah.
can smell
Okay,
it.
so I'm here in
I'm
the
in Alabama.
Appalachians.
I have one of the doctors that I know that researches all those little things about,
Yeah.
and he told me that it's the is it the positive ions
Yeah,
in
it's the
air?
ions.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm like, and it's so funny because it's a joke in our house, because that's how I know to get the dog out. And it's, you know, my daughter is like, oh, where she is right now, it just started to rain, and it's just, I'm next, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm already outside. What are you talking about?
You're the radar already.
I'm the radar. Yep.
Yeah, I can smell a strong thunderstorm coming, but I can't smell other smells like that good.
Right, right. I can't tell if it's just gonna rain, but I can tell you we got some stacked clouds here, and we're gonna get a thunderstorm. Because I get like this itchy feeling, and then my nose, it's like the back of my nose gets tingly or something. It's the weirdest funk.
Does season changing mess with anybody?
Oh yeah, my allergies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't take the antihistamine. Yep.
Can't take antihistamines
Not so
anymore either.
much, but I prefer the fall or the spring weathers.
Yeah.
The
heat is
summer is
bad.
bothering me.
Another thing
I
is
never
I
used to
read
be
something.
bothered by the summer before, but now it's bothering me.
Yeah.
I read something that said that I found interesting. I think it was a few weeks ago. It said, "When do you know when how do you know when the seizure is over?" And I don't, because I've had a seizure and woke up in the ambulance and then woke up in the hospital bed and didn't remember between either one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I know. I just know because I've got a headache and I've woken up.
Yeah.
And
Always know.
my parents told me one time I woke up and I asked them, did I have a seizure?
Yeah,
So
yeah. My wife says that after a seizure, like she'll try and get me to sit down, but I get up and I fight her because I'm going to go to bed, or I wanted to go outside, I'll just go. And she can't stop me. But so I guess the seizure's not done yet. But usually I'll go to sleep. I'll go to sleep and then wake up.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I usually have the seizure and then I fall asleep.
Yeah.
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 Not
My
so
mom
much
does that a
anymore because
lot.
I don't have those that bad.
Yeah.
She
If
says
there's
she knows when I'm tired because the seizures that I have, and then I'm sleep right afterwards. I'm straight to snoring.
Yep.
You're
That's
gone.
kind of how I tell what kind of seizure I had too.
Yeah,
If it's
exactly.
focal,
Yeah.
I'll just wait. I'm there, but I'm confused.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had a TC, it's like I got hit by a truck and
Mm-hmm.
boom, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's
Mhm.
okay.
I'm
I
out
have
for
a
the day.
seizure. I'll get cleaned up and I'll go right back to bed.
But then the next 2 days
I'm out
after
for
the
the day.
TC, you're still feeling like the back of your knee or like the weirdest places.
Oh, I
Hurt.
know.
Yeah.
That's so annoying.
Your hip or
I just have a question. Have any of you who have the grand malls, have you ever had one while conscious?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I think the
I
issue is
was
not remembering
conscious.
afterwards. Yeah, like I'm conscious
No,
while
like
it's happening, but
you're
after.
there and you're convulsing and your whole body is shaking, but you can't
Can't stop it.
you know you can and you want to say
I know.
something.
I know
Can't
what she's
say
saying.
anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
had
you
one.
want to say something, you can't say anything, and you want to move, but your whole body, it's like you can't move, and
You're
it's just,
rigid. Yeah.
Rigid.
I had
yeah,
one
it's
to where I was shaking and like I could see the direction my head was facing. Like I can see, I feel myself gritting my teeth. I can't do anything. I can see people in panic. I can hear perfect, but I'm just having a seizure and I can see when my eyes are open, I can see the direction I'm looking.
Yeah.
I've heard people say pull over. I've heard people
Oh,
say
you
back up and
drive?
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
you can
Wow.
hear it and
I had
understand it.
one and they
Those are
declared
like
it like
torture, man.
cluster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Clusters.
yeah.
I have
Or
clusters.
are those clusters?
Or it's a what did they call me? Because I can progress from a focal aware to a complex aware.
Yes.
And that's what they told me
Yeah.
that was, because I literally told the medical staff I'm seizing because I know I can still be aware when my entire right side goes rigid
Oh,
and
right.
head turns to the right, and
Mhm.
I'm still aware. And it's like, I'm telling you to help me, okay? You know,
Right.
it's like, yo, I'm having a seizure. And then it's like, well, you wouldn't be able to tell us if you were. Oh, I woke
There are
up.
so many different
Right,
kinds of
right.
seizures,
Don't
for
tell
gosh
me.
sakes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
Don't
get
tell
that.
me that. I'm doing it
Right.
again. Yeah, doing it again.
I've gotten
So,
that.
yeah, I hate those. Those, I think, for
Those
me,
are like torture.
they are the most
Yeah.
traumatic, and
Traumatic.
a lot of therapy,
It,
okay?
it'll leave you with PTSD the first time. It's
Yep.
like,
That's right. They're very traumatic and
I mean,
yeah.
But I have
Yes.
I mean,
something that says, do you have a favorite type of food when you come out of a seizure?
Mm.
I
No.
don't like to.
I don't like
No,
to eat
think of-
either.
I just I water, I guess.
Yeah.
Cream of potato soup.
Lots and lots of water.
Yeah,
if
I like
I'm
comfort.
forced to eat something, then I'll
Right.
eat it. But
That's
Yeah,
all it
but I
says.
don't want
I
to
don't.
eat it otherwise.
Yeah, we've all kind of had the appetite, just like you don't get the appetite triggers like we used to, right? Like you don't know when you should be hungry most of the time.
That
Yeah.
reminds
For me,
me.
I think I end up making up for it the next day.
Yeah,
I
does
have not
anyone,
lost
does
weight, I
anyone
can
get
tell you
hunger
that.
cues?
Well, my epileptologist from the very start, he said that every seizure is like a 16-hour workout. So, yeah, you're going to want to release those calories because you just burned them off like you ran a marathon, even though you just did whatever, you bring
Your
Just hold
adrenaline
whatever
is
to it.
flowing so fast that yeah, it's eating up every calorie you got
Yeah.
there. I mean,
He wasn't even joking when he said it's like a 16-hour
no.
workout. Treat it like that. Rest like that, eat like that, drink like that, behave like you just worked out for 16 hours straight because you have to recover your body back, or you're just gonna go into some more clusters, have some more.
I was always told to go in and go to sleep. That's what my doctors always told me. Just
Right.
go, even if you're not tired.
Go
Go
sleep.
in and lie down for a while.
Right.
Let your body catch up.
Right.
Your brain catch up.
Yeah.
That's why things would be so much
why
easier, I
do
think,
I
in the
hurt so
workplace.
much? Why does this take so long to get over? What is going on? And he was like, oh yeah,
No pills
that's,
work.
every single one you had. So I'm not quite sure. Does that mean if I have a bunch of clusters, does that mean each one is like 16 hours? Because boy, howdy, that's a booger.
yeah, like how do we get through that?
I don't know.
Tom, do you work out?
Do I work out?
Yeah. I was only asking because you have the VNS, and someone asked VNS and working out. It says, I got the VNS implant in December. I've always been into lifting and working out. When I came back to the gym around late February, early March, I avoided chest workouts due to implant. Yesterday, I tried a chest workout, and any fly style movements feel wrong. Does anyone have this feeling when working chest after having a VNS implant?
Hey, scar tissue in the muscle. You have to think about what they did, what all the layers that surgeon had to cut through,
Right.
and how that's going to feel different as it grows back. And it's not going to just grow back normal because there's an implant there now. So muscles around that are not connected like they were before. So I could easily understand how flies are not going to feel right, but maybe curls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had it implanted like 10 plus years ago.
Right.
But to answer your question, as far as working out, my workout is riding my bike for 5 minutes.
Oh, that's good. I mean,
It is. I mean, for me, and
Yeah. I wish I
I
could go back to my
work-
rowing machine for 5 minutes.
working at Costco, I stand in one spot for 6 hours.
That's good.
I've
It's
got
still a
absolutely,
workout, you know?
what's that?
It's
So
still
I
a
have,
workout.
I don't have a VNS, but I have a cardiac defibrillator.
Oh.
So similarly, I work out as well too. And when it comes to stuff like flies, I use very, very lightweight. It
Yeah,
helps
that's what I was
stretch,
thinking was that
helps
I
stretch
wouldn't go
out.
too
Yeah.
heavy or too much.
No, I mean, well, for straight bench is fine. But if you start extending it, because mine is over here. When you start
Yeah, so
extending,
fine.
right? I mean, that's been
Yeah.
5 years for me now, so it's kind of built into me at this point. But still, even at that, I won't risk it. I'll just do like light weights with the flies and whatnot. So
Mm.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, but I'm not a big, huge workout person. Just
I
Yeah.
find it helps. You know, I mean, look,
Oh, it does. Yeah.
everybody's different. I mean, I have focal awareness seizures. I don't have grand mal, fortunately. I mean, unfortunately, how I was diagnosed as an epileptic, as I immediately went into SUDEP, that's the reason why I have the cardiac defibrillator, because they didn't know what was wrong with me.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Yeah. It's like, oh, my first seizure killed me. But,
right,
Yeah.
pretty much.
You know,
Me
Pretty much.
too. Me
I'm
too.
okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was coming back from a run actually. I was very athletic, and I was just sitting in front of my house, just catching my breath and whatnot. And then I woke up in the hospital 5 days later with
Yeah.
no idea what happened to me.
God.
But
Wow.
yeah, and then I had to go. They didn't know because they had me in a coma. They had the EEG on me, no waves, no nothing. So they automatically assumed I just had a heart issue, and that's what they did. They implanted me with a defibrillator, and then 5 months later, I crashed my car. I had a seizure, and then finally they decided to let's really get serious with what's going on with the brain, and then they were able to catch it on an EEG. They said I had temporal lobe epilepsy. I'm blessed where it's just focal awareness, where I'll be having a conversation with somebody, and I'll just lose the ability to understand what they're saying to me. Things will be jumbled. That'll last for about 30 seconds. But when I do have ones that are longer, speaking to the fact that you guys, I get exhausted. Like I have to go to bed for a little while, a couple of hours, because it just drains me, wears me out. So
Yeah.
That's a lot of what my seizures are, just what you said. I can pick up a conversation when I'm done.
yeah,
Uh,
I'm well aware of where I am, what's going on
Yeah.
around me. I just know that I can't, like, the words are there, they don't come out though.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
can't get them across your lips.
Exactly. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I have that a lot.
And then it slowly comes back to you. I mean, mine only typically. I mean, the medicine has helped. So they only last anywhere from like 20 to 30 seconds at this point. But I have had ones that have gone like for a minute, and those are the ones that really like drag me out, and like I have to go lay down after that. So
Yeah, what's everybody's longest?
Yeah.
We talking clusters?
I don't even like to think
Yeah.
about
The longest
long-
seizure or the
Yeah.
longest status epilepticus?
That's what I
see,
mean. The clusters go
think
hours, but
45 minutes
Plus
or longer.
hours? I didn't.
In 2007, during my diagnosis, I was in status epilepticus for 11 hours.
Yeah,
What is
that's
that
Exactly,
exactly?
it's status epileptic. Epileptic.
That's
Epileptic.
when they can't stop the
Yeah,
seizure.
then no matter how much
Yeah.
med they push in your
5
IV or
hours.
put under your
What?
Yeah,
tongue or
11
stick
hours.
up your nose or
And
whatever,
then they
you
put the
just keep
electrodes
on
on.
going.
Yeah.
They
They
can't stop
waited.
it. It's awful.
Yeah.
It's the
And
worst.
they-
That's
It-
where you
it-
end up like with brain damage and stuff.
Yeah, that's
Oh, it
what I
shows
tell
up
you.
on
You're
MRI,
gonna be
for sure.
dead.
Yeah.
Your brain's so toasted from that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
God.
like, and the recourse now, it's like,
And the hard
I
part
was
is
only gonna
like,
do that
how do
once.
you
Yeah. But then,
differentiate clusters from status epilepticus?
Mhm.
yeah, clusters. I've had clusters, what they call a prodromal phase. I've had several days lead up to a tonic-clonic. And usually when I know, like a day like today, I woke up, I know what happened. I'm getting these once or twice a week. And this is what I was taking pregabalin for. So I know what's coming. And when I go 2, 3, 4 days like this, it's like, okay, it's time. You know what I mean? But those, I haven't been in status since my EEG in 2020, but the longest was 11 hours. And they
You are a
knew-
superwoman.
That's, yeah,
Yes.
that's,
I know that. I honestly thank you. I appreciate that because I have to recognize myself that I'm still here.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I mean, honestly, status
So
is trying
many.
to kill us each
Oh,
time
yeah.
it happens, or even clusters, honestly, because you
It-
have a couple of small ones, you have a couple, and then all of a sudden you have that one that makes you stop breathing, and maybe
Yeah.
nobody's there for that one, and you're not
Right.
laying on your side or whatever.
Yeah,
And,
when I
you
was
know,
younger, I
feel
had
it
bad seizures, but
150%, and it's so crazy because
nothing like this.
for me it just started 5 years ago out of nowhere, and yeah.
Okay,
I
well,
mean,
I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
have to go.
okay, Tom.
Tom, it was
Okay,
great to see
I'll
you.
talk to you guys
it was
on
nice
Reddit or
having
something.
you, Tom.
Tuesdays
Yeah,
and
thanks for
Fridays.
joining us.
All right, and Pokey, thank you so very much, man. You guys are
We're here Tuesdays and
absolutely
Fridays.
awesome.
Please
Thank
come
you so
back,
much.
Tom. You were
Please come-
great. We love to
Alright.
hear everybody's stories.
I'm-
Love
and
you
being
guys.
us.
I'm also
We'll be
gonna
here,
head
Tom.
out now.
All right.
Tuesdays
Okay,
and
sweetheart.
Fridays.
Dinner.
Okay,
I'll
Rach.
definitely be back. I'll definitely be
Yes.
back.
I hope
Great.
you guys come
I
back.
have
for sure.
like no friends with epilepsy, so this has been amazing.
Yes, right? I know.
Love you.
Yeah.
Sweetheart.
Yeah.
Pookie's
No,
awesome.
we're not the only ones
Yes.
that did this. It's like,
Yeah.
Rachel, you are amazing. I'm so glad to
Thank you.
see that things are getting better for you. You've been through a lot.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
mean, you can have sugar now. That's amazing. Just in
I know.
Yeah.
Go get your
Go,
favorite,
girl.
or at least go figure out what your favorite is. Okay. That could
Yeah.
take some time and experimentation.
All right.
Celebrating
Thank you.
graduation, totally.
I'll
Peace out.
I'll try my best to be here on Friday. Bye.
Please
Okay.
do.
All right.
Okay. Bye, sweetheart.
I'm trying to come as much as possible too.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
glad to have you, Angel.
I'm loving this. I'm sorry I missed the 9-hour session Friday.
Oh,
It
that
was kind of
was
my
we-
fault. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't,
We
but
had
It was
everything. Everyone
fun.
had at least an hour to themselves of talking.
Yeah.
Hey, but that was the first time I even discovered a group like this. I didn't even know Reddit was what it is until I
Until
signed in, saw like some people that sounded familiar, checked out, saw something about like Pookie invited you, and I was like,
yeah,
yeah, sure, why not?
I know.
Yep.
I missed the
Yeah,
first
so that's
few,
a
but
great
it's-
thing. I posted that thing that you posted a couple days ago saying reminding about this meeting on Tuesday in a paramedics group.
Oh,
And I'm wondering if any more medical professionals would actually like to join in on this conversation and just get the patient's perspectives.
for
I was
sure.
thinking
Happens
that.
so
I was
much.
thinking of just like popping up one day with a neurologist in the meeting, and they
Oh,
can just
that-
hear what we have to say. I've been looking for one. I'm looking for one.
Yeah,
They're
Cam
probably
Turner is
scared
gonna
to
ask
death
his
that somebody's
doctor.
going to put a hit on them.
I just
Yeah.
want them
So
to
many patients
listen.
have
You
been
can tell it-
misdiagnosed or like just feel like guinea pigs, and that's the
Yeah.
vibe that I get from this podcast when they actually presented the data analyzed by the residency. And again, this dude is not in the US. He's in another country studying the data of epileptic patients in the United States
Right.
and just trying to get to the root cause of why so many epileptics don't ever receive the cured status. And it makes
And
sense
they just
of
go around in
the root
circles
causes
of the
are not being
same
discussed in the
medicine.
appointments.
But isn't epilepsy incurable?
Well, I think what they were trying to get to is why it's not being managed better.
That's a
Ah.
good one.
Why patients can't reach that manageable, not
Right.
uncontrolled
Controlled
status.
state.
And it's because and what I gathered from that podcast was the conclusion is the neurologists don't want to ask like 25 questions on every appointment.
Mhm.
If one thing that I heard, a proactive suggestion, was that you give the patient a questionnaire beforehand, trying to get to the root cause of why they're there. Are you affected emotionally most by this? Are you affected most on the job? You know, do you have information to give me? Do you have suggestions about your condition? And you know, neurologists just, it feels like they don't do that. They're
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
like not proactive.
Not very many of them.
An epileptologist,
America.
oh, that's a little different. You know, I've experienced both. And it is different when you go to an epileptologist as opposed to a general neurologist.
Do you find that it's better?
Oh, yes.
Okay, because I've went to 2 neurologists before I finally got to my epileptologist. Me over to them, and they were like temporary, but
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, I think that my neurology team my epileptology team is pretty good, but I was just curious because I know a lot of people have neurologists, not specific
Yeah.
epileptologists. So
Yeah.
I even
My
like my
husband's-
I
nurse
don't have either.
practitioner.
You don't have either?
My neurologist
What?
just retired on the 4th, so
Yeah,
now I'm
he's-
Oh
just
yeah.
neurologist list.
going
I
to
remember you
find
saying
someone
that.
new.
You
It's
got
so
it.
hard.
You have to
Yeah,
get
I have to
on
see
that.
my primary on the 22nd, so I'm gonna talk to him about it. And yeah, I'm neurologist list at the moment. Just no neurologist at the moment. The guy I was dealing with for 20 years, he just retired on the 4th.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I forgot that you said that.
The only thing that bothers me is I'm thinking the new one or whoever might want to put me on something new. That's what I don't want to do.
Well,
You
if
just-
that
I don't-
It's
neurologist
like you
knew he
gotta
was
interview
retiring,
them. It's like
did he
Huh?
leave you with a referral at least?
He told me the hospital will call me with the new neurologist that's replacing him. He said, but I don't know
Oh,
when
wow.
that is, and I don't know who's replacing me. So I'm gonna go to my primary and ask him, you know, can you find me somebody? Because I don't just want to be waiting on a call and then I run out of meds or something, or I'm getting
Right.
close to running out of meds.
He
And
should have given you like 3 refills before he did this because
Yeah.
you never know how long the American Medical Association is going to make you wait to get somebody new. And certainly,
Right.
if you run out of medication, you're going to end up in the ER. Why in the world would he want that for you? Or
Right.
worse, right? We just all talked about SUDEP.
Well, if he was part
Yeah.
of a group of epilepsy or neurologists,
Yeah,
like where you go into like a hospital clinic type of thing, they're responsible for 1 year to cover you with your prescriptions, or until you find another doctor. So they have to cover you. I don't know what state you're in, but that's a federal.
It's California.
Yeah, that's every state. So, but they have to cover you for up to 1 year or until they give you 1 year. After 12 months, they're not obligated to write those scripts.
Okay.
So
Okay.
one of the other doctors or even one of the nurses he worked with.
Right. I've had to call on emergency things when mine was out of town and go like, look, guys, I'm running out. Do you really want this to happen? Can you please move your butts along? I've already done your stupid little MyChart request and that crap didn't work. Can you please do it?
Yeah.
And then I've even had to go into the pharmacy and go like, hey guys, my doctor isn't getting back and the freaking hospital isn't getting back either. Can you just give me like 10 days or, 15 pills that'll get me through till these buttheads manage to
Or
respond?
you even have to call your insurance company. It's like, I need this.
Right. It's like this is going to become an emergency. Yeah.
But another
I
trigger
have
around holiday
had-
times.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was agreeing, talk about another trigger around holidays when this
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
thing happens around the holidays and every doctor's off on their winter break.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep.
Or
I
in
have had to pay out of pocket for a pharmacist to give me, to sign off on giving me an emergency, like 15 pills, whatever, because the insurance wouldn't cover it because the doctor wasn't there to sign off on it or send it in, or the nurse's practitioner didn't send it in. So she was doing it, but she couldn't get the insurance to cover it. But I had to pay for it. But it wasn't that much. So, it's always nice when they can at least save your life.
right. I know. Or
Not all
during
of them will do that.
Yeah, when it's bad weather, it's like I always want to have a few days just in case
Oh God.
the snowplow can't get me out of my driveway. You know,
Or
it's
like
just
they say they're gonna have it on automatic refill, but then you go to get it, like say you even give them 3 days warning and they'll be like, oh well, we don't have any in right now. We're
oh
waiting
yeah,
for it to
I-
come in.
Yeah,
And you're like, what? What
you
do
gotta wait till
you mean?
they get their receiving schedule.
I might have to do that. Or
I always
or
get a
if
call.
there's a pharmacy in their network that you can get it from. You know, it's like, could you call another, you know, close by, whatever, like if it's Walgreens, I've had to do that. You know, it's
Yeah,
like I have controlled substances, so it can't be on an automatic refill in New York.
Yeah, a couple of mine are too, and I can't. I mean,
Right.
yeah.
And there's times that I've called and they're like, they don't even say anything, and I would go pick it up. Oh, well, we had to order that. Yeah, you do, and I'm not going to leave until it's here in my hands.
yeah, I need it,
You know what I
guys.
mean?
It's
Because
not
it's
a,
like
I don't know why
I
they act like
can't.
it's just like, oh well, whatever.
Well, New York, I don't know if anybody else is from New York, but we have
No.
some of our laws with controlled substances are different from other states. And for whatever reason, our system looks at all controlled substances as narcotics.
Yeah,
So it doesn't matter that it's an anti-epileptic. It's
right.
to them, it's a controlled substance. It's
Mhm.
like Oxycontin.
Right.
So
It's
that's
just
how
like if you were getting morphine or if you were getting
Yep.
Adderall or whatever, because California is starting to do that with the benzodiazepines and the ADHD medications too.
Oh yeah, benzos.
Thankfully, they're not doing it with my cannabinoid Epidiolex yet. Fingers
Oh,
crossed, but
you might want to stock up on that.
I wish I could. They're
I know, right? It's
so
like
bad
50
about
grand,
it.
right? I'm like, no, I got my stuff. I'm happy.
Oh,
I mean,
that's good.
that is some high potency CBD.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've had a shot of that, and I can't match that with what I can get my hands on.
Yeah.
But but still, it's like they give a lot of people a hard time when we're on controlled substances
They
that are
do.
for
And it
epilepsy.
doesn't even matter. It might not even be epileptic medication. They can give people a hard time for almost anything now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, if it's on the controlled substance schedule, yeah, they do. They give everybody a hard time. But yeah, and I'm starting to wonder, I don't know if any of you guys are getting a little worried about being able to get your medication or treatment that you might need. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I heard a
man.
lot of the prices are going up for pills, so I wonder if tariffs are going to bother pills.
Well,
And
they
I remember
say,
calling one time and they're
I don't know what
saying, "Oh,
headlines
we
to
don't
trust
have it,"
anymore.
and the nearest place that has it was like an hour out of the city.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm like, I don't drive, and it's like,
Yeah.
how am I supposed to get it?
Yeah. It's like, we have to have somebody as our sidecar. We have to have somebody to do those things for us. That's the hardest thing for me.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
it's like I got to the point with pharmacies where I had to call the state and I had to talk to the DEA for our state in New York and let them know, look, this medication was due on this date and it's a controlled substance and it's every 30 days and it is day 33.
right.
And
And
they
you could
are
have already died from not having it.
and they're telling me they can't release the medication for another 2 days. So that would have been day 35. So I called the DEA. I'm like, it's either the Department of Health or the department, that's going to help me get my meds. But, and this was one of those things. It's like, oh, well, you were in the hospital. They count those days. Wait, what?
That's
I
the
didn't even
insurance
know.
company.
Yeah,
It's like
no,
they're messing with things.
yeah.
I hate
So I'm out of
insurance.
medication because I was in the hospital for 2 days and they're holding my refill for 5. Okay. And that was in 2022 where I said, I'm not going to fight it. Okay. And here we are doing it again, but I wish I could take a anticonvulsant that wasn't a controlled substance.
Right. Something they could just let you have.
But I've tried 11 of them so far.
Right.
I was never offered surgery until I was in Baltimore. I'm not there anymore. And, they don't care here that I went through all of that at Johns Hopkins, and it's
That's
like,
ridiculous.
why? So now, I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to fight.
So Anne, after all those years, it sounds like you were really an advocate up in in New England at least. Where do you feel like you made any progress?
Oh yes, New York State, and it's kind of funny because we do joke around, in the cannabis community, at least the part that I'm part of, that there must be a list. We are convinced that we are on a list. And I've called many doctors, jealous drug dealers, right to their face.
Okay.
Because my medicine worked
the
better.
hat fits.
Yeah. If my medicine worked better than yours when you decided not to help me in the first place, and now you're not going to give me that medication that I need that is helping me, I've gone from 5 down to 1. Okay, here we are again, 5 years later, doing the same thing. Almost, I just printed, oh my God, I just printed all of my medical records and highlighted all of this stuff. And I'm like, oh my God.
It's
sitting
like
there.
they want you to keep you having it. That way they can keep writing the prescriptions so they can keep money in their pockets,
Oh, there's that, there's definitely that. But, and for me, it's really, really hard because some people know who I am. I don't look the same as I did a decade ago, for sure. But some of the healthcare providers recognized me, and they're like, "Oh, aren't you the one?" Yeah, I'm one of those. I'm one of them. I'm one of many. Expect us. I'm sorry, but this is the cannabis community, and our goal is exactly what that Hippocratic Oath states. We have the same goal that doctors should have.
Exactly. So if an ethical professional were to encounter you, knowing what team you're on, knowing what things you've gotten done, then again, an ethical professional is like the only term that keeps ringing. But if there were any like good doctors not just wanting a kickback from, Walgreens, one of those pharmaceuticals, then I think we'd all be making a lot more progress.
Oh yeah. And if they want to open their minds and say, okay, this is what you've used, this is how it's helped you, and then you combined it with these pharmaceuticals and that was perfect for you. Oh, let's take those pharmaceuticals away because you're using cannabis.
Yeah, at least my epilepologist is fine with that. He's like, as long as it's not, triggering anything, go right. If you stopped, it probably would, because 25 years in, long before you had your diagnosis. It would probably be bad if we just yanked it. Maybe that's why you wanted it.
I'm fine with my primary care and my neurologist, my hepatologist, and for primary care, I do recommend getting like someone who's more of a DO.
Yeah.
Because they don't write prescriptions as much. They want to treat you other ways,
Yeah.